Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my first impressions look on the Nike Zoom Freak 5. So of course this is Giannis Antetokounmpo's 5th signature shoe with Nike, and it just released. There's this colorway and also the green and red kind of gold swoosh colorway, which I really don't like. I really like how they kept the price the same though. So this colorway is $130, and then I don't know why, but the gold swoosh one is $140. But $130 is the same price as the Zoom Freak 4. So if you guys do want to cop, all those colorways are available, and the Zoom Freak 4 is on sale for like 80-90 bucks depending on the colorway. I'll try to leave the affiliate links in the description box, but let's get it started right off with the tracciones. And the traction pattern is actually pretty damn cool. So here in the forefoot, we have a whole bunch of Giannis Antetokounmpo logos. So they're kind of mirroring each other a little bit. And then here in the midfoot and heel, it kind of looks like the smear traction pattern found in like the Kyrie Infinity and the Zoom GT Cut 2, right? And I'm not a huge fan of the smear traction, but either way, it doesn't really matter all too much just because you don't really like put a whole lot of force here in the midfoot or heel. You put a little bit more force here in the forefoot, right, when you're playing and stuff like that. But yeah, how does the traction feel? The traction feels really freaking good, right? So just on my wood floors, I haven't played in these yet, but on my wood floors, it feels really good. There's a nice stop. There's also a nice loud high-pitched squeak, which I do like. That has nothing to do with performance, but I like to have a nice little squeak, right? A little squeaky squeak. So that also is nice. Also, here in this color, we have a combination of colors, right? So we have green, purple, blue, and black, which is pretty cool. It makes it kind of hard to see the actual outsole pattern, but either way, I do like the actual like color, right? And then as far as the durability goes, the durability actually seems like it'll be pretty good. It's weird just because the grooves seem a little thin, right? When you look at the forefoot here where the logos are, it looks a little thin, but the rubber is actually pretty hard. It doesn't move very easily when I try to move it with my finger. So it does seem like it'll be good for durability on outdoor court. And also there are a lot of grooves, as you guys can see, right? But one thing that does worry me though is hopefully it doesn't pick up too much dust because the grooves are so close together. You know, if the grooves are closer together, it's more likely that it'll trap dust, right? So hopefully it bites through dust very well, but the stop seems really good so far, and the durability does seem good, and there's a nice loud high-pitched squeak, right? So outsole seems pretty good so far from my first impressions. And now moving on to the heel to toe transition, also that seems very smooth, right? So here in the heel we have a nice little rounded shape, right? But also this foam is super duper soft, right? So here in the heel it feels great, there's a nice compression, and then here in the forefoot we have a nice little curved shape as well, and a good amount of forefoot. Look at that. It's a very flexible shoe, which in my opinion I like. Also here in the midfoot, it doesn't really flex all too much. There's probably a midfoot shank plate somewhere in there for better torsional support. So overall heel to toe transition does feel very smooth. And now moving on to the cushioning setup, I really like the cushioning setup. It actually reminds me a lot of the Jaw ones, right? But it feels a little bit nicer so far right now. So here, as far as the foam goes, especially in the heel, we don't know what foam it is. They just say springy or soft foam like they always do. It's probably some type of cushion, right? But here in the heel is really freaking soft, guys. And it's just the right amount of softness to me right now. It doesn't seem like it's like too mushy or anything. It doesn't feel like too laggy. It feels just the right amount for me personally, which I really like. So there's really nice compression here in the heel. Also, the core feel seems pretty damn good. It feels like a little bit better than average, which of course is a good thing. And also like cushion, it'll probably bottom out. So if you feel like it's too soft when you first try it on, like at the store or something, it'll probably bottom out just because cushion does bottom out relatively quickly. So you should be okay if you think it's a little too soft at first, right? And also here in the forefoot, we have a top-loaded zoom unit, which I do love as well. It feels very similar to the Jaw ones too. So if you remove the insole, you can see that there is a top-loaded zoom unit, right? Of course, there's a strobe board, which is kind of stiff, but you can see the outline of the zoom unit, and it feels very nice in the forefoot. There's a nice little compression, nice little bounce. I do like it. It's just a nice little subtle bounce. Nothing too crazy, but it's nice for me. So overall, I do like the cushioning setup. And then as far as the insole goes, it looks like there is a crash pad when you look at it, but it's just stitched. They just put a stitching there around like the circle. It doesn't seem like they have any other type of foam, right? But either way, it's just a regular Ortholite insole, it feels like, so nothing too special. But the overall step-in comfort is pretty nice. In the forefoot, the heel, not so much, just because it's just like a regular shovel, right? But overall cushioning setup, I really do like, and I feel like it'll be a very responsive cushioning setup with good impact protection, nice compression, comfort from the heel, right? And the bounce, like little extra bounce in the forefoot from the top load to zoom in. So cushioning setup feels really nice so far. Now moving on to the materials, right? So here in the forefoot, right, in the toe box, we have like a synthetic leather type of material, and it definitely does have some embroidered like stitching on it, right? We have this like really cool geometric design. But yeah, not a huge fan of how the synthetic leather feels. It does feel synthetic. It definitely feels fake. But it feels pretty nice on foot, right? It has a little bit of poofiness to it, so it does feel more cozy, but it also doesn't feel super like bulky or stiff or anything like that. It conforms to my foot very, very well. It's just not a super minimal or thin material, right? And then here, like on the lateral side, or probably also underneath this leather or synthetic leather material, it's just this like textile, right? And actually that feels very nice. It does feel a little plasticky, right? But it doesn't feel terrible. It feels like a plasticky version of like a jacquard, right? But overall, it does feel thin. It does feel supportive as well. And then for the tongue, we have like a mesh material on the bottom, and then on top we do have a little bit of padding as well. It doesn't feel like as much as like the Zoom Freak 2 or the Zoom Freak 3, you know, those had a good amount of padding. I feel like they kind of made it a little bit more minimal, which kind of sucks because I did like the padding in the older shoes, but it's still pretty nice. And it also is a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit and also keeping the tongue in place. We have Giannis Antetokounmpo's logo here on the tongue, and also his signature on the flip side of the tongue as well, like on the inside. And then here in the ankle area, we have like a good amount of padding. It does feel nice and cozy. I would say it's a little bit more than average. Nothing too crazy, but also it's not super minimal. I think it's just the right amount for me personally. And it's more just like on top, right? So on top of the actual material right here, like around the collar, we have a good amount of foam, and on the bottom, it kind of like there's no foam. So it has better heel lockdown, of course. By the way, it does feel nice. I do like how the overall material feels on foot. It's just not the best for quality, right? So like this textile feels a little plasticky, and of course this is a synthetic leather, but it gets the job done right now on foot. It feels pretty nice for me. Also, of course, we do have this very, very large swoosh, right? And this actually feels like a real leather. I'm not 100% sure, but it does add a good amount of like sturdiness to the overall material on the lateral side, right? Now moving on to the fit, right? So I went up half a size and it fits me perfectly, right? I don't know what it is. I think Nike is just switching up their sizing a little bit. But yeah, I went up half a size for like a lot of shoes recently for the past couple months, and it fits me very, very well, right? So lengthwise, I would say it's pretty much perfect. Like I feel like if I went true to size, it might be a little too snug for me lengthwise. So yeah, I would suggest most people go up half a size. Also here in the toe box, it is pretty damn snug, which I do like. Of course, I like to have a snug fit here in the toe box, so that feels very nice. And then widthwise, I would say it's slightly narrow as well. So yeah, it's just a really good fit for me. It's like a perfect glove-like fit, you know, so going up half a size for me, right? So if you want a super duper snug fit and you have like a narrow fit, maybe go true to size, but still be careful on that. I would suggest most people, if you want a pretty snug fit, go up half a size. If you have a wide foot or you want a roomier fit, probably go up a full size, but still be careful because like I said, it's a pretty snug fit, right? And now moving on to the support and lockdown. So for lateral containment, it feels like it's gonna be very good, right? So here in the forefoot, we have a little bit of the foam coming up, just a tiny bit, acting as a sidewall. And like I mentioned before, we have this swoosh, and it's a pretty thick material, right? And also underneath that, we have these eyelets, right? So as you guys can see, we have these white eyelets and these blue eyelets, and they're kind of like straps that go down all the way into the material, so you have more support as well. So also when you tighten the laces, it kind of tightens over your foot, giving you better lockdown, which of course is a good thing. And then here in the heel, we have an internal TPU heel counter, it feels like. So yeah, lateral containment feels like it's gonna be good, and also lateral stability, it does feel like it's gonna be good. You know, we don't really have a crazy outrigger, but the midsole and outsole do protrude out a good amount here, giving you a better, like wider base here in the forefoot. So lateral stability feels like it's gonna be good. And now moving on to the weight, I'm actually pretty curious. It does actually feel pretty light, so I'm guessing like 11, maybe 12 ounces. Yeah, 11.45 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 11.25 ounces. That's actually pretty damn light. So the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. That's more than an ounce lighter than average, which of course is a good thing. I'm actually pretty curious because the Tatum one is one of the light. Yeah, so the Tatum one's 10.9 ounces. So yeah, it's the Tatum one's still a good amount lighter, but it's still like definitely very, very light for the Zoom Freak 5. It feels minimal too, and overall it does feel supportive. So I'm actually very, very surprised and also very excited to try these out because it feels really nice so far on foot, right? And for my first impressions. Now moving on to the aesthetics, I love it. I love this big swoosh. It's just a super kind of like simple looking shoe. And also we have like a kind of like a swoosh here, right? Yeah, there's a swoosh here on the medial side and the heel. Not a huge fan of this colorway and also the kind of like Gucci colorway, but like there was an all white colorway that kind of leaked and that one looks super good. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, I'm super excited, right? So everything about this shoe feels really, really nice. Like honestly, everything. I don't really have anything that I don't like, I guess, besides the quality of the materials. But of course, if the traction is top tier, and you know, if this traction is really, really good, I feel like this shoe might be one of the like top 5, top 10 performers for me, in my personal opinion, just because I like to have a lighter, minimal feeling shoe, good traction. Cushion is overall responsive, but you have nice compression in the heel, forefoot with the bounce. Overall material feels supportive, but also not too, you know, bulky or anything like that. And then you have a little bit of padding from the tongue and ankle areas. So it does feel very, very nice. And my first impressions of the Zoom Freak 5 are super duper good. So anyways, that about concludes this video. Again, if you guys do want to cop this shoe, I'll try to leave a feeling in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.